Hey, everybody, welcome to the 2026 preseason coaches show on Epic View Sports Network. It's brought to you by Matt Townsend for state representative. Matt's not a politician, but a hardworking business owner that wants to give back to his community. Affordability, healthcare, and economic development are just a few of the priorities that Matt Townsend will work tirelessly to improve for the people of Fairfield and Benton. We need more Matt Townsends in our corner and in Augusta. To learn more about Matt's priorities, go to electmatttownsend.com. We are super psyched to have the new head coach of the Lawrence Bulldogs, Pete Curtis. I got to tell you, Larry, I've wanted to do this for a while with football, but I was always scared of John Hersom.
Mr. Hersom, yes.
And I was always scared to ask
Yeah.
him. I didn't want him to be mad at me or something, right? But Pete actually reached out to Brian, which was great, and he talked to you as
Yep.
well.
During the
And
summer.
we're excited to have you here,
Yeah.
Pete. And I got to tell you, I put a lot of faith in this guy that lives by me named Mike Mealy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I ran into him this summer, and after I heard that Coach Hersom was, which by the way, that we got to talk about that real quick. Coach Hersom, what he's
For sure.
doing,
Yeah.
leaving this, and you didn't want him to leave this program. However, going to help his son. I mean,
Yeah.
I always knew the guy was just a quality individual,
Yeah.
but he just seems to take it up a notch
Yeah, for sure.
every time. But I ran into Meals, and I said, who's going to get the job? And they asked me to be on the committee. I go, well, that's a smart move, first off, right? And he goes, I want Pete Curtis in that spot. I said, really? And he goes, yeah. And I didn't know a lot about you
Yeah. Yeah.
because I knew Coach Hersom and a couple of the other coaches, but he started telling me about how long you've been with the program and stuff. And when you were named, he was very excited. A lot of people in the community very excited. It's I can't imagine what it's like replacing a legend like John Hersom. But you've been here. You went to high school here. You graduated here. You've been coaching here for so long. So very excited to have you on.
Yeah. No, thanks for having me. And thanks for doing this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about you graduated in 2004. You played for Brad Bishop and Scott Walker. What did you learn from those coaches? And just talk about a little bit of your high school career at Lawrence High School.
Yeah, so I played for Coach Bishop my freshman and sophomore year, and then they brought in Scott Walker for my junior and senior year, and I learned a lot from him. Scott was very structured in everything he did. Um, he had everything right down. One of the best things he did for me personally was he brought Mike Mealy back as
That's
a
right.
as a-
Yeah.
as an assistant coach. I remember lifting with Coach Walker during the summer. And he took me aside and he goes, Pete, you know a guy named Mike Mealy? I said, yeah. He goes, how would you feel if he coached you? I said, that'd be awesome. So I was fortunate enough to be able to play under my Coach Mealy. Um, but yeah, I learned a great deal from both of them. But with Scott being my junior and senior year head coach, the structure that he brought, I'm trying to bring that, different things. So yeah,
I think that anytime you're, no matter what sport you're at, you take a look at the head coach that you either played for or you're an assistant for, and you learn from everyone. And obviously you're going to take what everyone has taught you and put your stamp on it.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Both good and bad, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I'd say, I know that, from a business standpoint, both Larry and I played high school sports, played sports, so we know a lot about the coaching aspect. But in business, coaching is management, right?
yep.
And I've learned a lot from the really good managers, and I've learned a lot from the really bad managers.
Yeah.
So you kind of get a little bit from both.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of the things that I'm trying to implement with the program, it does come from, the Coach Bishops and the Coach Walkers, but a lot of it does come from Coach Hersom. I spent 17 years,
Right.
working under him. So, a lot of the things we're trying to do on the field, is very similar to what we were doing with Coach Hersom. Some of the stuff off the field, for instance, like this,
Hmm.
I'm trying to put my own spin on things. So,
Yeah, and I'm sure Coach Herson would have done something like this
yeah.
if we went to him.
Yeah.
Just we never. It's our thing is still kind of changing, and growing as we had this idea a couple of years ago with basketball, and we had the basketball tournament here in the preseason, so it was easy to get a bunch of coaches in. But we're very excited that you reached out to us and able to do this.
Yeah.
But so you're just the fifth coach in since 1969, and
Yeah.
you had a chance to kind of let that marinate and
You know, I really haven't yet, and I don't know if I will for a little while. You know, once I got hired, you know, I met with the assistant coaches that we planned on coming back, and we pretty much hit the ground running right from then. You know, 4 days a week, all off season, Monday through Thursday, 6 a.m. Had the kids coming in. Um, you know, so I really haven't really had a chance to reflect on it too much, and now that the season started, I don't have any time to do
right,
anything. So,
right.
um, yeah, but yeah, it is very humbling. You know, the community support that I have, that they've shown me, since me being hired is very humbling, and yeah, we have one of the most historic programs in the state. So to be the head coach of that is very special.
Yeah, when you look at that, I didn't realize that. I actually reached out to a few friends of mine that went to Lawrence here, Travis Holtham, and a couple other guys, and they were the ones that gave me that information. But when you start thinking about it, it's not a lot of programs around Maine that can say that.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I don't know if there's any really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Has being the Lawrence head coach been your single-minded goal, or have you had other offers or thought about applying prior to
Yeah,
getting?
no. I've never considered coaching anywhere other than here. You know, I grew up here. I grew up, you know, watching, you know, through the PAL program and watching the teams on Friday nights, and I wouldn't have entertained another school coming to me asking me to coach for them. Um, yeah, so
So, what would you say is your style of coaching, and what or who has kind of influenced that? Obviously, you mentioned Coach Hersom being under him for 17 years. Obviously, that was a big influence. But are you one of those coaches that has read some books on coaching and kind of maybe gone to some trainings or symposiums, if you will?
yeah, I mean through my coaching career so far, we've gone to clinics and stuff like that. But I do take a lot from John. Like I said, I was fortunate enough to play under Coach Mealy, so I'm taking a lot from that. And you know, when I started to get into coaching, I would go over to Coach Mealy's house and we'd sit down and we talk about different things of how to coach this and how to coach that. So I'm taking a lot from him as well. Um, Unfortunately, I wasn't able to play for Coach Cooper, but I know obviously Coach Mealy did coach with him, so
Yeah.
and played for him. So there's probably a little bit of that too through Coach Mealy. But you know, I take a lot from my assistant coaches too. I'm fortunate, you know, I got Coach Lindloff. He's been around for forever. You know, I take a lot from him. I take a lot from Coach Pellerin. And, you know, those two are very experienced in what they do. So fortunate enough to have both of them on staff.
Yeah.
What values do you emphasize in your program?
Yeah, so hard-nosed, accountability, and discipline are really the three core values that we have. And I think the hard-nosed thing just goes hand in hand with Lawrence football anyway. Um, but the the discipline and accountability, we got to be disciplined in everything we do, on the field, off the field, in the school, in the community. And then the kids found out this week that I am going to hold them accountable to those standards, and you know that just makes a good football team. So
No question. Um, do you believe that the coaches are integral in creating that team chemistry, or do you think it's something that the players are more involved in, or something that happens organically?
yeah, so I actually talked to the kids about that this week. You know, the coaches are there we're there to pick the kids up when needed. And if we're having a down day, the kids are tired, that's the coach's job to do it. But I think great teams, that stuff comes internally with the kids. If the kids, we can you can lead a horse to water, you can't make them drink. We can do the same thing as coaches. We can push all day, but if they don't want it as bad as we do, then it's not going to happen. So
Yeah, actually, we saw it firsthand this past basketball season with the girls team. I thought that a lot of the reason why they won the state championship was because they came together as a team, especially towards the end of the season. And we sat down with all of them the week before the state game, and you could see it, you could sense it that they were all pulling for each other. And then when we were at the game, Larry, you remember that scene? We're at the game, we're watching it, and there was a timeout called, and Oceanside had their 5 starters on the floor with the coach, all the players sitting on the bench. Lawrence had all the kids around,
Yep.
and you could just see the difference. And
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the reason they won the states, but I know that their team chemistry was way
Yep.
better than
Yep.
Oceanside.
Yep.
So
And you also need great leadership too.
yep,
Yeah.
And they definitely had with a couple core players that
yep,
they had, but they those were seniors in any sport that you play.
Right.
You need your leaders and you need your older kids to lead by example.
Yeah, for sure.
How has coaching, especially football, changed over the years, and do you think it's an improvement or regressed?
I think over the years, coaching has changed. On the field, I don't think it's changed much, at least around here. We've always run the ball. We've always played a hard nosed defense. I think it's the outside stuff that's changed maybe. There's a lot more stuff to deal with. Social media changes things. Cell phones, the TikToks that the kids get going and stuff like that. That's changed the landscape of things a lot. That you got to kind of scale things back.
yeah. I mean, obviously I'm old. Well, both, yeah, Larry's old too, even though he doesn't look that old. But we remember a different time in football, and when you could do things to motivate kids and that you can't do today. And
Hmm.
and some of it makes sense. Some of it I think is a little bit too touchy feely sometimes. And I think the good thing for Lawrence is that the community is behind the football program, and you probably don't have to deal with some of that stuff that some of the other programs around that have
Hmm.
had a lot of turnover
Yeah.
deal with. But yeah, it's just some of it's unfortunate, I think, but you got to do what
Yep.
you got to change with the times,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Something you got to deal with.
so what roles do your assistant coaches play in the overall team management? You said you lean on your assistants quite a
Yeah.
bit. Do you have them? You talked about your structure earlier too. Is there certain jobs within their job that they, that you have them doing as well?
Yeah. So, I got Coach Linloff. He's the offensive coordinator. He's that's all he's focusing on, and he does a great job with that. Um, Jesse Dodge and Jared Dodge. They've both stepped up, huge since hiring, since my hiring. And Jesse's kind of filling the JV head coach. He's semi taking the O line over. That was what I was doing.
Okay.
I can't give the O line totally away because that's my favorite position to coach.
Yeah.
But the last, I don't know, 7 8 years he's been work. We've been working together with the O line D line. In the last couple of years, I've kind of given him the D line anyway, to be their main coach. So. Jared Dodge, Jason Pellerin, Aaron LaFrance, they got the secondary, at least on defense, and Brock Lawrence. Brock Lawrence has been great. Brought him on once I got hired. I had talked to him prior to, if I get hired, would you want to come on staff? So he's working linebackers, running backs,
Hmm.
um, and the kids all seem to love Brock, and Brock's one of the best guys I know. So
Good.
How do you prepare your teams mentally for the big games, as well as the games that you're heavily favored in?
yeah, so we kind of talked about that this week, that they got to earn everything they want. That nothing's going to be handed to them. Every team that we play has Lawrence circled on their schedule.
Oh yeah,
There's
no
no
doubt.
there's no team out there that doesn't want to beat us. So there's no game that we're just going to get handed to us. So um, yeah, I just keeping them grounded. There's been a lot of talk already, uh, preseason, that we got a ton of returning starters, and a lot of teams that we play lost a lot of players. So they're already putting our kids up to the top of the conference, and I'm trying to tell the kids, don't get involved in that.
Yeah, don't
No,
read the press
you can't
clippings,
you
right?
can't do that.
Yeah.
I also think your leadership, as far as your captains, plays a role in that too.
Yep, for
Preparing
sure.
coaches can say all they want, but sometimes it's when your peers are telling you a different stories and have been through those battles
Yeah,
that really is important.
yeah. So one of the first things that that I implemented was a leader. Well, I when I met with the kids for the first time as the head coach, I had to vote on captains. So we named three captains: Brady Richards, Wyatt Graves, and Keegan Littlefield. And then after that, we kind of, with the voting that took place, I made a leadership council. So I have those three seniors on it, the three captains. Then we have three juniors, Jackson Dangler, Jaden Hebert, and why am I blanking on the third one?
Keon?
Keon, Keon Stevens. Sorry.
No, it's good.
Yeah. So and then we have two sophomores, Bryson Carrier and Talon Ward. So they're kind of the go-to in terms of anything we want to implement. We go to them with the team through the team. Obviously we talk to the team as well, but um, so yeah, we need that leadership. We're trying to build that leadership with the younger grades, not just the captains too.
Um, you worked for John for 17 years. Um, what were your initial thoughts when they said, "Hey, we want to offer you the"? I mean, I know you were applying for the job, and but at any point did you say, "Ooh, man, I'm replacing somebody that's been special here," and
Yeah,
that's always tough. I mean, you experienced it for, as a player,
yeah,
because when you started playing, when I think you played for Bishop
yep,
early in your career, right?
yep,
And he took over for Pete, and
right,
that's like, how do you have any success taking over from Pete
yeah,
Cooper, right?
right. Yeah, so I don't necessarily look at it as replacing John Hersom, but I just trying to continue what he's built.
Yep.
I'm not tearing anything down that he's built. I just want to add to it.
Hmm.
So yeah, obviously big shoes to fill. Head coach. Um, but yeah, I don't try to look at it as replacing Coach Hersom. I'm an extension of what Coach Hersom has built.
I never got a chance to ask him this, but I'll ask you because you were right there with him. One of the things that always impressed me about John was his in-game adjustments.
Yeah,
And I mean, were there times and I know for as a broadcaster, just watching, I'd be like, you'd see something he'd do, and I'd go, how do you figure that out? Because
yeah,
I mean, both Larry and I we watch a lot of football. We love football, and kind of we're not like coaches or study the game, but we know a lot about the game, and we see something, and I go, I don't know how that's going to work. But were there times in during games when he'd make these adjustments and you go, huh? But then it always seemed to work out.
yeah. I occasionally there were those times. But the one thing that made John makes John a great coach is he gets all his assistants together and he
Okay.
listens to what we have to say. No decision that was ever made was most of the decisions that were made weren't just on John, right?
Okay.
He always got our input before a decision was made, for the most part. Obviously, if he didn't like what we like what we wanted to
Right.
decide, he could overrule us. But um, yeah, I think that's one of the things that I take from John too is I'm not the smartest guy in the room most of the time,
Hmm.
so I got to listen to the other coaches and we'll figure it out collectively.
Some of it's instinctual though, right?
Yeah,
Like gut feeling,
yeah,
if I make this change here, I think it's going to work.
yep,
But then you got guys up in the booth watching giving you advice
yep,
as well, so that makes a big difference.
yep.
What has the off-season training been like this year, and can you get a gauge on the players' improvement?
Yeah, so mentioned it a little bit earlier, but we were at it 6 a.m. Monday through Thursday. We had roughly, I'd say we averaged 35 kids most weeks, um, most days. So we would lift, three times a week. We did a session of conditioning. We had a afternoon practice once in a while. Um, so I think the kids improved drastically over the summer. Um, we well after this week we're probably I would say we're 2 weeks ahead of where we're normally at in terms of installing things, mainly because we were able to do some of that stuff over the summer.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, 61 kids out there.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
yeah, actually 62 now I think,
Oh,
but
is it?
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Um, what would you say are the strengths of the team? You got, like you said, you have a bunch of returning starters.
Hmm.
Is it the physicality? Is it the you're going to have a healthy Jackson Dangler at quarterback, which we kind of got a highlight of what he's going to be like last year
Hmm.
before he got hurt again,
Yep.
and I think he could be special.
Yep.
Is that what have you seen so far and say, this is one of our better strengths?
Yeah, I think the biggest strength we have is our depth.
Okay.
We have a lot of depth everywhere. Um, obviously we got four of the five returning O line, from last year. So we got one position we got to fill
Hmm.
on the O line. Our linebacking core, they were all young last year. They're all returning. We got young guys that are ready to play as well. And, Talon Ward, he was a freshman last year. He's improved drastically in the weight room. He's a linebacker. So our biggest strength is our depth. I think up front we're going to be very physical. We have a lot of speed behind them. Actually, our team speed in general is pretty quick, and yeah, and it does help having someone that can command the offense like Jackson. And looking forward to a full year of him.
Yeah, actually, I was impressed with the Stevens kid. Is it Stevens or
Yeah,
Stevenson?
Stevens.
He stepped in last year for Dawson Moore when he got hurt
Yeah,
a couple of games, and I was like, wow, this kid's
yeah,
and was he a sophomore last year?
yeah. He's a
Yeah,
junior this
so you
year.
still got him for a couple more
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
So
Thankfully we do.
yeah,
We just ran a little, a good on good scrimmage this morning, and I think we ran maybe 10 offensive plays against and with our pretty much our starting offense against somewhat of our starting defense, and I think Keon was in on 8 of the tackles
no
at the
kidding.
10 plays. So
Yeah,
yeah, he's gonna be a special player this year and next year. So
yeah.
What life lessons do you hope your players take away from playing, for Lawrence and for your coaching staff?
yeah, so football is one of the greatest games because it teaches life lessons. Adversity is one of them. You get knocked down, you get back up. Um, never give up, um, and to earn everything that you want.
Um, you mentioned it earlier that you're just going to build on what John has already done here. Does that mean you're going to keep the same style of offense, same style of defense? You making any tweaks there? Or are you
Defense, I think, will be more aggressive than we have in the past. Maybe show some more blitz packages. Um, Offensively, we're going to say the same. We
okay?
got we got Coach Ken coming back, Coach Lindelof coming back. Um, yeah, we're going to pretty much say the same. We may open it up with Jackson at quarterback a little bit, but yeah,
Do you have some receivers too? Do you have
we do.
yeah?
Yep, Trey Leclerc, he's returning. He caught the ball well last year. He's returning, so yeah.
Defensively, you're going to move Brady around a little bit. I thought last year that was kind of neat when you moved him around. It really, he seemed to make some plays when you moved him around the field a little bit.
Yeah, so not giving too much away from anybody that's going to watch
Yeah,
this.
that's
Yeah, we do plan on moving Brady around. Brady's obviously a special kid. He's been a special kid since I've gotten to know him his freshman year. And we plan on utilizing him and his strengths.
yeah.
I don't think we've ever had anybody swat the ball down, from the defensive end position like he did last year. So try to utilize his strengths, a little differently this year. But yeah.
Yeah, good.
Um, are there certain players this year that you're looking for big years to have a successful season for your team?
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned Jackson. He got a couple games before he got hurt last year. He needs to have he needs to have a big year. All those young guys that were sophomores playing last year. Towards the end of last year, we had a ton of sophomores playing. They need to take that next step at their junior year to really make us successful.
How do you establish expectations for the season? Like you said, you're coming in a lot of returning starters, a lot of people looking to Lawrence to, be the team to beat, if you will, in the conference. Do you kind of do you talk to the players? Do you talk to all the assistant coaches and then, establish those expectations from there?
Yeah, I think as when we meet with the coaching staff, we all have the same sorry, we all have the same mindset, that we haven't won anything yet,
Hmm.
and just because people want to tell us that we're good doesn't mean we are.
Right.
So, and we relay that message to the kids. You know, I put a new sign in the locker room, earn it. You know, earn it every day. Most of the time when we break down as a group, we you need to earn it. That, you know, we got to keep them grounded. We just because the paper, just because some media personality wants to make us the favorite, doesn't mean we are.
Yep.
Who are some of the teams in the conference that you feel is going to be near the top?
Yeah, so I know Coney lost a lot last year, you know, with their graduating class, but you can never count BL out. You know, he runs a good program. You know, Skowhegan always plays tough. You know, we got Camden Hills. They're joining the conference. Who knows what they have?
They got
You
some
know,
athletes.
they
I
got
know
some
that.
athletes.
Yeah.
You know, they won a state championship last year in 8-man. So who knows how they're going to be. You know, Mount Blue, they had a new coach last year. They're going to gain. They're going to keep on, you know, getting better. Brunswick, same thing. New coach last year. They're going to keep getting better. Um, so you can't count anybody out. I think the conference is wide open. So we'll have to see how it goes.
Well, we're looking forward to the season. Coach will be first home game, I think, is Freiburg.
Yep, Freiburg would
Well,
too.
I know you have a scrimmage against EL, but
Yep.
we'll be covering the first one we're covering is Freiburg. So
Yeah.
really looking forward to that. Appreciate you
Yeah.
coming in
Perfect.
today,
Thank you.
Coach Pete
Thank
See you,
you.
Larry.
Curtis, the new head coach for the Lawrence Bulldogs. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with, well, he's not a new coach, Jesse Dodge. You probably don't know who he is. I know who he is. He's very good friends with my son-in-law. I'm not sure he wants everybody to know that, though. We'll be right back after this. Hey, welcome back to the uh, preseason coaches show, I guess is what we're calling it,
Sounds good to me.
on Epic View Sports Network. I had a brain cramp there. I'm old, so I don't want to hear any hard time about when I get, I call Gage the wrong name, or, like I called this guy Jesse and he's actually Jared Dodge.
Get it right.
I know. I'm
Same
I'm a
thing.
mess. I'm
I'm just
sorry.
I'm just the better looking one. That's
Yes.
all.
Well, listen, I deal with it all the time with my brother. I'll be in the store and they'll go, "Hey Gary, how's Michelle doing?" I just go, "Good, she's good." Yeah, So
Yep.
I just
Keep
don't
her
want to deal
moving.
with it. But Jared Dodge is here with us. But first, before we talk to Jared Dodge, we got to tell you about Matt Townsend. He learned the meaning of hard work at an early age, waking up at 4 a.m. to help his dad milk cows. Today, Matt runs his own business and serves on the Fairfield Town Council as vice chair after holding down the chairman's seat for 2 years. When Matt talks affordability, it's not just talking points. Matt realizes that the cost of living is not keeping up with stagnant wages and rising property taxes. Matt will work hard with his fellow legislators to get to the root causes of higher prices and determine what can be done to lower them. For more information, go to electmatttownsend.com. And as I said, we're with Jared Dodge, one of the assistant coaches here for the new staff. Pete Curtis is the new head coach for Lawrence. And, so first question, Jared, does this mean you're not going to be up in the booth anymore? You're going to be on the sideline?
I'll be on the sideline this year.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
stepping up now,
Promotion.
son.
Stepping up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So who's going to be up in the booth?
We haven't really talked about it much yet, but it'll probably be Aaron LaFrance, and I don't know who else is going to be up there, but he'll be the eyes for the secondary up top.
Okay.
So I'll probably call most of the defensive coverages comparable to what we're running for blitzes and things like that, and then yeah, I'm upgraded. Downstairs I go.
Awesome.
Be out in
Pretty
the weather.
excited for you. So you played for Coach Hersom,
I did. Yep.
and did you guys go to any state games or
No,
in
we
your career?
lost. My freshman year, we lost in the Northern Maine Championship, and then I think it was my senior year we lost again, Northern Maine Championship. We ran into injuries. We had no backfield that we started the season with that year,
Oh,
and
really?
coldest game I've ever played in, minus 20 wind chill up at Skowhegan, and it was brutal.
Brutal.
But you can't move. You like slowly moving. I think we lost 20-0, but.
So how long after you got done playing did you start coaching?
So I took 1 year off and then I came back as just volunteering and getting to learn the other side of football than playing. So I think I started in the 2019 football season, I
Okay.
think, the year before COVID.
Yep.
So
Okay, so this year you're going to be down on the sideline. What have you learned being up in the the bogs, talking to whether it's the offense or defensive coordinators? How do you feel that's going to be just different?
Uh, I don't, I don't know. The only difference is going to be is, up in the booth, it's bird's eye view. You know, you can see everything. So I think the hardest thing for me will be trying to figure out where to stand and figure out how to see the whole entire play happening. Um, but I don't I learned that upstairs, it's a great way to learn the game because you can just see everything that's going on. So, you can see the whole entire play come together. Coach Herson was really big on that when you became like a new coach. He'd like you up there because it keeps you out of the way and then you can pay attention to what's going on. So I'm excited to come downstairs, but it's also nice to be upstairs because you can see everything at the same time. But um,
Obviously, you're going to have, a coordinator up there,
yeah, yeah.
saying
So,
or, telling you what they're seeing and,
right.
in your
Yeah.
view and their view and
Yeah.
coming together.
Yeah.
So, how important is it from the assistant coach standpoint, to get really deep into the film study? And do you guys, um, when you're watching film, are you just watching the coaching that you're doing the defensive backs and you're doing some of the line? I think was it?
No, I'll be doing just
Oh, and special teams.
yeah, I'll be doing a little bit of special teams. Jesse will mainly be doing that, but I'm gonna do secondary, and I'm basically just shadowing Coach Winoff at the moment on
Okay.
offense, helping with the quarterbacks and doing some play type stuff with him on the offensive side.
Now, is there a way when you're? I was wondered this about film study. Is there a way to watch film to learn more? As but like I watch film to enjoy the game, right?
Right, yeah.
As a coach, you really can't kind of watch it that way. You're watching for tendencies and stuff like that. Is there a thing that you've learned throughout the years as you've been coaching how to watch film and how to
Yeah,
learn
so,
from it?
when I played, it was like, oh, watch film and, you know, you sometimes do, sometimes don't. You kind of just watch to see what you're working with. As coaches, I mean, I'll spend 2 hours every night sitting down, watching film, taking notes. Especially this year is going to be even more, just because secondary, I got to know every single route that they've thrown the week before. Offense, got to look at what they're going to run. They're going to run a 4-3, a 4-4, 5-2, different things like that. How are we going to block it, work together? So film is huge. You can learn a lot. I think Coach Urson was really good at that, and that's one thing that he did. He's always had the scout team cards drawn up. Um, so I think this year I'll do all of the passing plays, and someone else will do all the run stuff. But yeah, it's gonna film is huge. You can learn a lot by watching a football game. I probably watch, all of us as coaches, we probably watch the same game 2 or 3 times.
2 hours every night. Jamie
I
must
try,
be loving that.
yeah, I try.
Three little ones running
Yeah,
around.
I try
You're watching
to.
2 hours of film.
I I a lot of the times, I'll do it um, at my day job.
Oh, okay.
I'll throw it on break time and on lunch, and I can focus more there. But yeah, I try to get a little bit of film done. Maybe it's not 2 hours all the
Okay.
time, but
All right.
Friday nights it's go home and film's already up and watch it. So
Yeah. Oh, you said that is this a new role being on the offensive side for you?
kind of sorta. I kind of bounced around last year a little bit, but it was mostly Coach Curtis that would fill in if need be. So yeah, it's a new role.
So obviously, Coach Lindelof is many years of experience. He had some other stops. What have you learned from him just in the short time that he's
Oh,
been on the staff?
I mean, so I played for him. He came in my freshman year. So he expects perfection every time. So the kids need to know that, we run this play and you need to be able to do that. So I've learned how to maybe not raise my voice as much as he does and get things like that, but I've kind of learned how to, look, take a younger player aside and kind of walk them through that. That's kind of how my role is now, for now. So, you get out there in doubles this week and you got, the older group, they know what they're doing. You put in sophomores and some freshmen, and they're going the wrong way. They're running into each other. So kind of try to slow it down a little bit for them. So I've learned an awful lot about football and about life from Kenny. I'm pretty close to him, so uh, yeah.
We always have a great time with him when he comes
Oh yeah,
for the
He's
basketball.
yeah,
he's a
Just
tough
so
SOB.
knowledge.
he
Last year
is.
he didn't he bust his Achilles for like
Yeah,
he didn't even know it for a month.
yeah, he is
He's the
tough,
guy.
very tough.
So is this do you see yourself down the road someday being a head coach or a coordinator or we talked to Pete before and he was like, hey, I always wanted to be the Lawrence head coach and that's it.
Mm,
Well, you and Pete are he's older, a little bit older than
yep,
you, not a ton. So if you're going to be waiting for that one, that's going to be a
yeah.
while. But
You know, I don't see myself coaching anywhere but here.
okay,
I graduated from here. I played all the way up through here. My kids are gonna go to school here. So probably a coordinator spot would be good for me.
yeah.
Um, I'll let Pete deal with all the extracurricular stuff, the parents and the boosters and things like that, and I can just focus on the kids and coaching.
Yeah, good.
What I've also learned over the years is if you are a head coach, you need really good, strong assistants.
Mm,
If you don't want good, or if you're worried about your assistant coaches, you're never going to have success.
yeah,
And that's one thing that I've seen. Coach Hersom or even Coach Linloff, and he coaches other sports, but he has really strong
yep.
assistants, and I think it's for the best for the program.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think that's everyone that's we've interviewed you and Pete, really buy into that.
Yeah, I take my job very seriously as an assistant. I think you know, as assistant coaches, you know, Pete's only done the offensive line, so he's trying to bounce around and learn different things. So it's good to be able to know that you can trust your coaches in different positions. And I think that having Pete bounce around, we try as assistants to be able to run everything so he can just watch and learn and things like that. And, I take it as my job. Look, if Pete can't make it to practice today, this shouldn't skip a beat,
Yeah,
right? It
good.
should just be, okay, coach isn't here tonight. Um, Here we go. We're doing X, Y, and Z, and we can just off and run.
So who's the coach on the staff that gets the kids lit up?
Oh,
Because we always had like when I was playing, we had a coach that when he gave his pregame speech, you were ready to run through a wall.
yeah.
And I think every staff probably has that one guy. Who's the guy on this staff?
It's probably Coach Pellerin.
Yeah.
He likes to motivate the kids pretty good. I'm more of a motivate my group instead of the whole group.
Hmm.
I don't know. I try to, get them moving. This morning they were you could tell they were tired from the week, and just try to bring the energy every day. But Coach Pellerin's definitely the guy that does
So
that.
this week was the first week.
Hmm.
Did you jump right into double sessions right at the beginning of the week?
Yep, started Monday, so we did doubles Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This morning we had a morning session, and then we'll give them the afternoon off today, and we play tomorrow.
Okay.
So,
Now, this is a controlled scrimmage. Who do you play
oh,
tomorrow?
playing Dover Foxcroft
Dover
tomorrow. Yep.
Foxcroft. Good program.
Yep.
Uh, um, Now you guys script your plays. Just tell the listeners what
Yep.
a controlled scrimmage is about.
So it'll be 10 plays and a drive. So our varsity on both, for them and for us, will run 10 plays and you'll run a drive. So we'll script. We have a 14 play script already put in place. Ran it this morning, ran it yesterday. That way the kids can kind of know what's coming. If you have any questions, we go through it, things like that. So it's 10 plays in a drive, and then we'll switch, and then we'll do the younger kids 5 plays in a drive. And then if we have time, we'll do another older kids 10 plays in a drive. So it's kind of hard because, you know, you don't get as much reps as you want, but you got to get everybody in. So it's the way to do it.
So you're a younger guy, probably closer in age to the kids
Mhm.
playing than a lot of the coaches. Um, is it hard sometimes to, I mean, you want to develop relationships with the kids
Right.
because you want them, the kids will play hard for you if you have a good relationship,
Yeah.
but it's got to be a line there too, right?
Yeah.
Is it hard sometimes to make sure that they don't cross that line, or
Yeah.
you don't cross that line?
I think the kids are picking up on this year that, yeah, we can joke around, we can do things, but, there's a line here, and we're trying to work on language, things like that, and I hear it, I just send them. Go to the Go do a hill, do 10 push-ups. The Provost boys, they're my favorite. I love them, but they're goofballs.
Yeah.
So we built boxes for them, so they got to stand in their box if they're not getting a rep. So you got to stand there and you can't do anything. And Brady, they go all good together, so we got to separate them. But
Yeah.
they're realizing, it's kind of a joking matter that, hey, get in your box. But you know, it's 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 hard, but at the same time, it works out well.
Yeah. So we wish you the best of luck this year. We're really looking forward. I know coach is trying to tamp down the expectations as far as we don't want to put the cart before the
Mm,
horse, but everybody we've talked to, at least I have, anyways, Larry and I talking together, we're expecting big things this year. So we're really looking forward to this year, and wish you the best of luck in the your new position in coaching, and go get them this year.
awesome.
All
Thank you
right,
so much.
it's good to see you, buddy.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Great
Jared
job.
Dodge, one of the assistant coaches for the Lawrence Bulldogs. We'll be back with in a few minutes with some of the players. Hey, welcome back to the Epic View Sports Network preseason coaches show, football show. We can't have a coaches show without some cheerleaders, Larry, right?
Yeah, the squad we've noticed over the last few years just growing and growing, and they've done a great job on a Friday night or during the basketball season too.
That's right. Well, before we start talking to these beautiful young ladies, I have to tell you about Matt Townsend.
Yeah, you tell us.
Okay. Did you know that more than 13% of Fairfield and Benton residents are without health care? Larry, did you know that?
I did not know that.
Well, now you know. Okay. This is more than double the state average. Matt Townsend knows this, and he realizes Maine needs to build new hospitals and recruit quality doctors. Matt will work with his fellow legislators to help bring quality, affordable health care options to the people of Fairfield and Benton. To learn more about what Matt Townsend's plan, go to electmatttownsend.com. Head coach Chelsea Harrison has brought us Paige Lane to my right, and then Adonia Sheets, both junior cheerleaders on this year's squad. Ladies, thank you for coming in,
Yeah. Thank you.
talking to the microphone.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. So, how long have you been cheering, and are you guys like besties? You're two of the captains, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So, have you guys been cheering together for a long time?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Ever since like PAL or like
Yeah, we were really little. We've been
Yeah.
cheering for a long time, probably like 10 years.
So, what PAL team did you cheer for?
VFW.
in Sunnies.
Oh, you
Yeah.
were Sonny's, and she
Oh,
was
yeah, oh, yeah.
VFW.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think we went up together in like KSW. Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you've been under Coach Harrison the whole time?
From
I mean, since
Kinda.
in high school.
yes.
Yes, in high school,
Okay.
yes.
She's really done a great job in kind of rebuilding this Lawrence program. I know Larry and I've been doing this since what, 19, 18, something like that. So it's been a few years, and there really wasn't a lot of cheering going on back then. But Coach Harrison's rebuilt things, and you guys have been in some competitions and done really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Our like freshman year, we got like the K-backs, like we won it,
Yeah.
and that was like the most like accomplished that we.
Yeah.
like, the big-
Great.
I've noticed, especially the football, you had over 20 people
Yeah,
on the
a lot of cheering.
sidelines
Oh, yeah.
last year. That was
We
just,
always-
we both went to Missalonsky, and Missalonsky's over the years, their cheerleading squads, either very few or they didn't even have any. So what I did notice was, the the numbers, and seemed like you ladies were all having a really good time, enjoyed what you were doing. Um, what kind of training goes into that during the off season, the summers?
We do like a lot of team bonding. We have like pre-seasons, so like we'll come in during like it's like double session, so we'll all like come in. During like fall, like home games, we'll do like team dinner, so it's like a team bonding thing. Um, yeah, so we all like get together like pretty good.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
really unite together, and it helps us become a team and work together.
Is there, I mean, obviously there's a lot of gymnastic components and dancing
Yeah.
components to it. Are you guys, have you been in like dancing competition? I know my 5-year-old had her first recital last year. Have you guys been in like dancing recitals and stuff like that throughout your careers?
I haven't.
No.
Okay. Just learning on the fly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. How about gymnastics wise? I mean, there's a lot of like throwing you guys up in the air and jumping around and stuff. Is there like gymnastics training that you've done or?
No. No, we're like
Like we have practices, like we practice stunting and stuff
Okay.
like that, and we just do it at practices.
Okay.
yeah.
You know what? Now, how many cheers do you guys actually have? Do you build in more as the season goes on, or do you have, say, 10, 12, and that's what you just kind of do for the whole year?
We have like quite a few tiers, and then like here and there we're like throwing like one or two like new ones that we would
Mhm.
learn during like over the summer.
Every year we at least add a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a good amount of cheers that we would do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, both of you are football and basketball
Yes.
Yes.
cheerleaders. Which sport do you like? And I know football can get cold out there, but you got cold weather gear. So,
Yeah.
which sports do you like to cheer for most?
Personally, I like to do football cheer.
I love football cheer too, a lot, but competition season is during basketball, and it's really fun.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
competition. So, well, we appreciate you coming in for a few minutes, Paige Lane and Adonia Sheets. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with a couple of more cheerleaders for this year's Lawrence squad, and then we got the players coming in after that. We'll be back right after this.
All right. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hey, welcome back to the 2026 preseason coaches show here on Epic View Sports Network. Not just football coaches and players, we got some cheerleaders too, LW.
Yeah, you know, this is a big part of the Friday nights and the games. It's the cheerleaders getting the crowd into the game and pumping the players up too.
Yeah, and before we get to them, I got to tell you about Matt Townsend.
Tell us.
You heard about Matt?
Yes, I have.
All right. He's not a politician, by the way, but a hardworking business owner that wants to give back to his community. Affordability, healthcare, and economic development are just a few of the priorities that Matt Townsend will work tirelessly to improve for the people of Fairfield and Benton. We need more Matt Townsends in our corner and in Augusta. To learn more about Matt's priorities, go to electmatttownsend.com. So, head coach Chelsea Harrison has allowed us to have another couple of lovely young ladies. To my right is Emeka Nickerson. She's a junior captain. Hi, Emeka.
Hi.
And next to L Dub is Cassidy Belfleur. Did I
Mhm.
get that right, Cassidy?
Yeah.
All right. She's a junior. Appreciate you guys coming in. So, how long have you been cheering? And is it the only sport that you do?
I've been cheering for about 10 years, and yes, this is the only sport that I do.
Okay.
I've been cheering for 5 years, and it is the only sport I do.
Okay.
So, you know, what does your preseason look like? Getting obviously you got to sign up to for cheering. Is there any cuts in cheering, or does everyone make it?
So far, we haven't had any cuts because most of the time we have the right amount of cheerleaders who try out and stuff. We still do tryouts to see like where everyone plays. Like we do a tryout where we tumble and we jump and we do a cheer that we learn during our practices before tryouts. And then Chelsea basically like scores us on how loud we were during the cheer, how our jumps are, how tumbling is, and then she kind of places us in like a score to see how we place and how we would do if we did have to make any cuts.
Wow, there's a lot more to it
Yes.
than I thought.
Wow, you broke that down
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah. So one of the things that we've noticed over the last few years is Chelsea's really done a great job in kind of reinvigorating the program, getting a lot more kids involved. Is it harder with a lot more people to get everybody on the same page? Because a lot of cheering is being together on things, right?
Mhm.
Cadence and being on the same page. Is it harder as the team gets bigger?
Um, it kind of depends, but we haven't really had like a team where we were like really big, but we do really work like say we're doing jumps and timing isn't going right. We'll go over it and over it and over it again until it looks good, and then we'll just keep doing it. And then that's how we all kind of learn to stay together and like do everything how it's supposed to be.
Cassidy, you want to add anything to that?
Um, no, I'd say she got it all.
Okay.
Um, I know during the winter you have your competition for the like the KVAC. Is there any kind of competition in the fall?
We do a PAL comp where we compete with all the PAL kids, like the PAL cheerleading
Oh,
teams and stuff. And before the PAL comp, we do something that's called PAL clinic, where we basically do a routine in front of the PAL kids, and then we split off into groups with all the little kids, and we basically help them doing stunts and tumbling and jumps and stuff like that.
so are you guys like, do you go down to the PAL program and be like their coaches, or do
We're
you help the adults out too?
So they usually come here and we'll be in the gym and we basically are like we call ourselves like big sisters almost kind of and we'll just help them all with something they're struggling with and we'll help coaches sometimes like teach them if they're new like teach them different techniques and stuff like that.
So when you go, so Cassidy, when you go to a PAL game and all the little cheerleaders are there, they're like, "Oh, it's Cassidy from the varsity. Look who's here. She's come to watch us." Is it like that at the PAL games?
Kind of. Some of the girls on the team will go to their practices and help them and be like their big sister.
Yeah, it's like when the players come down to the field and help the kids play, right? That's
Mhm.
like the kids look up to them, right? And the younger cheerleaders are looking up to you guys because they're going to be in your spot someday, right?
So when Nora, if she wants to be a cheerleader, maybe you can be the coach, and some of these young ladies can help you be
Yeah,
mentor
I
you.
think I'm sure I'd be a great cheering coach. Um, so have you both been cheering since PAL? Did you start out as PAL cheerleaders?
I started as a PAL cheerleader, yes.
Okay, and what team was it?
I did Clinton Lions and I was on VFW for a little bit.
Okay, and
I,
you just started a couple of years ago, right?
yeah, I started in 7th grade for
Seventh
the
grade.
junior high team.
So what motivated you to want to be a cheerleader? Was it your friends were a lot of your friends were cheering and you said, "Oh, I want to be with my friends," or did you watch them and say it looks like fun?
I would say that a lot of my friends were cheerleaders, so it motivated me to want to do cheer.
Great.
So the competition, well, you say you do the PAL in the fall, but in the wintertime you have the KVAC, and now it's down in Augusta for the conference, and then did you guys make it to states last year?
Um, did we make it to states?
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Now was that down in Augusta too? Is
I yes.
okay. What kind of what take us through the day of the meet that you're going down to Augusta. What obviously it's a big build up, and what I've never been to one, but what I've seen on the highlights, there's a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Obviously, thousands of people. How does that feel going into that situation?
Obviously you're a little bit nervous
Yep.
because you're basically with like the best of the best. So it's like nerve-wracking. Everyone's watching and everyone's nervous. Everyone's getting a little
See.
Yeah.
yeah. Because there's so many people watching and you
So
want to
who's
be
on
there.
the squad that kind of takes that pressure away, that will relax everyone? Do you have that one person, or do you guys just do it as a
Usually
group?
we all just kind of huddle up before
Okay.
and we just like talk to each other and like say like we got this, we can do it, like just do what you're supposed to do. Chelsea also usually is the one who like really calms us down and stuff because she'll be like, you got this, guys. Like you've done it a million times, you can do it.
Well, we appreciate you coming in for a few minutes, ladies, and we wish you the best of luck this year. Emeka Nickerson and Cassidy Belfleur of the Lawrence football and basketball cheerleaders. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back with some of the players on this year's football team right back after this. Hey, welcome back to the 2026 preseason football show here on Epic View Sports Network. We got a couple of fine young gentlemen from the football team here with us, and we're going to talk to him in a second. But first, I got to tell you about Matt Townsend. Did I tell you about Matt Townsend, L-Dub?
You have, but tell us again.
Let me tell you again?
Yes.
Okay. He's learned the meaning of hard work at an early age, waking up at 4 a.m. to help his dad milk cows. Who the hell wants to do that, by the way? That's
Well, that's why
You gotta
there's no more farmers.
Yeah, I know. Today, Matt runs his own business and serves on the Fairfield Town Council as a vice chair after holding down the chairman seat for 2 years. When Matt talks affordability, it's not just talking points. Matt realizes that the cost of living is not keeping up with stagnant wages and rising property taxes. Matt will work hard with his fellow legislators to get to the root causes of higher prices and determine what can be done to lower them. For more information, go to electmatttownsend.com. So, to my right, I have Mr. Brady Richards. And then to L Dub's left, we got Keegan Littlefield, two of the captains of this year's 2026 Lawrence football team. Gentlemen, appreciate you coming in. And first week I've heard has been a little tough. We were talking to a couple of the coaches, said right into double sessions, said you guys were a little tired at the end of the week here.
Yeah, it was definitely a long week.
Was it?
Sure. Yeah, 100%.
So, oh, wait a minute. I got to get to my questions here.
I'll go.
Go ahead, Larry.
Okay, how long have you guys been playing football?
I think I want to say like 10, 12 years, like almost, well, since flag football and stuff.
Yeah.
So you guys got into the flag. Do you both start with flag, or did you join it up?
Yeah.
So
What was your PAL teams?
I was on Clinton.
Clinton?
Yeah.
I was on VFW
Okay.
and Sonny's for a little bit.
Yep. Did you win any championships in PAL?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did too.
Nice.
On VF.
So, what was your initial reaction? Because both of you have played for Coach Hersom. What was your initial reaction when Coach Hersom was leaving to go coach with his son? And well, there was a little bit of time that you didn't know who the coach was going to be, right?
Yeah.
Were you guys and all obviously you're hoping for Coach Curtis to get in there? A lot of people were. But was there a little bit of time where you kind of talking to each other or whatever, like, who's going to be the coach? It's going to be kind of, who knows what's going to happen?
Well, at first we were just all shocked, just because we know how much Coach Hersom loved the Bulldogs and everything about Lawrence. We were just shocked about it. But then over time, I don't know, we were waiting it out, waiting for who was going to be the head coach.
And then when you found out Coach Curtis, very excited about that because
Yeah.
it's kind of keeping a lot of sameness, right? Because
basically, what's your fondest football memory so far in high school, or even if it was in PAL, or?
I want to say when we went to the state game, like the bus rides, little get-togethers. It was just like great memories, being a freshman, all the kids above you. It was awesome. I mean, never gonna get it back.
Now, did you either one of you see a little bit of playing time?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, I saw not much, but
Yeah.
I did get on the field and
Yeah.
I got a penalty, but in the state game.
Hey, it's all right.
Yeah.
There's a
You
memory
left
for
your
you.
mark, right?
Yeah.
How much football is mental and how much of it is physical? People talk about the physicality of the game. There's a lot of, it's a violent game. There's a lot of hits and stuff, but there's a lot of the mental part of it as well. And with your opponent as well. How much of that do you guys do you feel is, like what doesn't have to be a percentage, but talk about both sides of it.
It's definitely a mental game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's like losing games and stuff, it does take kind of a toll on you. But winning games, like it brings you up, like your morality and your mental focus and stuff, and it just makes you want to push. So it's really mental, but it's also really like physical game. Like Fridays after, playing the whole game, like you just don't want to move, like you're in so much pain and stuff.
Yeah.
And, it takes till the following Friday till the next game to like finally be back.
Yeah.
Then it happens again. So, yeah, it's definitely a mental and physical game.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, a lot of times you're dishing out the punishment.
Yeah.
Keegan, you're
You're
taking the
taking it,
punishment.
yes.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
But you play linebacker on defense?
Corner.
Corner,
Yes.
so you don't get to hit as much,
No.
as this big fella does.
Oh
But
yeah, for sure.
but yeah, you might be taking a little bit more punishment than this guy does, right? So you must be a little bit sore on Friday.
Oh yeah, for sure. That Saturday morning practice during
Yeah.
stretch lines, it's hard to get through those.
Yeah.
How do you guys handle the high expectations for this year coming in to the season? A lot of people are picking you guys as one of the favorites. How do you balance, feeling good about that, obviously, but obviously we talk to the coaches. The coaches are trying to keep you guys pretty grounded, but being captains, how do you send that message to your teammates?
We just gotta keep our players humble and just keep them pushing. We can't have them get off track, and just we gotta keep playing our game.
Yeah, coach said that he's got a new saying in the locker room. What is it?
Earn it.
Earn it.
We definitely gotta earn it. Yeah, for sure.
100%.
What kind of music do you guys listen to before the game? Can you listen to your own music, or is there certain music that's in the locker room that you get to play?
Yeah, it's definitely got to be kind of clean, but we kind of
Just-
slip past that
yeah.
sometimes.
Some just to hype
A
yourself.
lot of heavy rock, heavy rap.
Okay.
That's some old 80s music,
Yeah,
right?
any
Yeah,
Hells Bells in there, a little AC/DC,
Metallica,
a little
you know?
Metallica,
like
something
that.
to get you fired up.
Some of the basketball warm-up music. We got to talk to.
Yeah, I don't know who comes up with that.
Yeah.
Keegan, you're on. You
Yeah,
guys
you
both on the
guys are
basketball
seniors
team.
next year.
yeah.
We
Straighten
need
that
to
out.
talk to you guys. Any rituals that you guys do before? Do you eat something, or do you wear the same socks, or anything like that before games? Are you guys superstitious or not?
Yeah, I'm pretty superstitious. Like I always like after school I gotta go home and I have to take a nap. Like if if I don't take a nap, like I feel like I'm gonna have a terrible game.
Really? Okay.
So
That's funny. I was the same way, and I think it was nervous. It was more of a nervous
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
Like I felt like I had to take a nap because I was nervous. But yeah, that's interesting. What about you, Keegan? Anything?
No, not really. Just go out there and play, I guess.
Yeah. I had one of the guys that I played with. He threw up before every game, so
Oh,
that
jeez.
was his ritual.
Sounds like Josh Allen right there.
Um, when the coaches speak before the game, which one gets you the most fired up? Do all the coaches have, like, do they go around the room and, each coach get to say something for the game, and which one of them gets you fired up the most?
I think Coach Lindelof does, because like you don't really expect him to say like some encouraging stuff because he's on our butts all the time.
Yeah.
So, but like you don't really see him as those guys that like I don't know say some stuff before the game. But like for me at least, it's Coach Lindelof.
Yeah.
yeah, when we're going over like the plays before the game and like he's like, let's go kick some butt and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And we all bring it together. And that's what like really gets us hyped. But when we really hit the field and all the coaches are like all hyped up, that's what really like that's what
For
really
sure,
gets
yeah.
us focused.
And when you get on the field, are there certain, you guys look to as the guys to really
Oh yeah.
get everybody fired
yeah,
up,
for
being
sure,
the
yeah.
captains? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, talking about that, football can be an emotional game. How do you balance the emotions during the game without letting it hurt you or your team? Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that happens on the field that maybe the ordinary fan doesn't see, but how do you control those emotions?
Well, I mean, you just gotta. I mean, you can't really bring your teammates down. Obviously, you gotta keep them up. And every time they have a bad play, you just gotta, yeah, you just gotta keep them up. You're trying to bring them down, I guess.
Yeah, you can't really like you don't really like try and like focus on your emotions. Like you just play through it. Like
Yeah.
if something happens, like say to your teammate, like you just say you're good, like you got this, and
Yeah.
you just go forward.
Mhm.
Then if you want to talk about it after the game, like you can always do that and stuff.
Because
How
during the
about
game,
like
you
in a
can't-
situation where, maybe that sometimes there can be some dirty plays, some, guys taking shots and stuff. How do you, because obviously you want to respond,
Yeah,
right? You want to
yeah.
react, but sometimes it's best to, get them on the next play, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to do that, I got to think.
Yeah, it definitely is. Definitely there's some jawing here and there, but like you gotta hold your teammates accountable, hold yourself accountable, and just get them on the next play, like you said.
And then point up at the scoreboard at the end
Oh,
of
yeah,
the game and
yeah.
saying, we win.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. What have you guys done in the off season to prepare for this. Now you both play. Did you do any spring sports?
No.
No. So after basketball, you started working out, getting ready for football.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're at that you obviously worked hard in the off season? I was talking to coach. He said a lot of you guys were coming in at 6 o'clock in the morning to lift. Do you feel like, boy, I wish I would have done a little bit more work, or do you feel like I'm ready for this year?
I definitely wish I could have done a little more work, but like at the same time, I think I'm ready. Yeah.
We're
Believe
we're
I'm ready.
definitely like a ready team,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Waking up at 6 a.m. or getting ready to go work out at 6 a.m.
Yeah, even before school.
Like you just want to prepare for the season. Like
Mhm.
as soon as football ended, we hopped right into the weight room.
Yep.
Because, Coach Hersom announced he was leaving, and we were like, we kind of wanted to honor him and stuff.
Yep.
He's a legend at Lawrence. So when we found out it was Curtis, and it just pushed us way more. And 35 kids showing up almost every morning, like that's what really grows a bond and family. So
Awesome. Well, we wish you guys the best this year. We're very excited. I know there's a lot of high expectations here, but like Coach said, you got to earn it each and every night. But we're really looking forward to a big year, and hopefully it ends with a gold ball.
Sir.
yes, sir.
Brady Richards and Keegan Littlefield. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with a couple more players on this 2026 Lawrence football team. Back after this. Hey, welcome back to the 2026 preseason coaches show here on Epic View Sports Network. I'm Rick Dugal. We haven't even said our names in this one, Larry, so I hope everybody knows who we are. Do you think?
Well, if they don't, they will.
They're going to know now.
That's right.
That's Larry Workman down there. And we're also joined by Jackson Dangler, the junior quarterback. He's to my right. And then to Larry's left, the big fellow, Wyatt Graves, the senior captain.
We like to balance it off, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
linemen.
he can't sit right next to me because then the room would go like this. Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
Well, I meant offense, backs
Oh, is that what you
and
meant?
linemen.
Oh,
Yes.
geez, I was just thinking the big
No,
boys.
I wasn't-
Can't sit the big boys. Me and Brady were on the same side.
Yes.
The room didn't
Well,
tip over, so
yeah.
it was good.
I was like this, but
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't, when I was in high school, I was 180 pounds. They used to call me Chubbubs. You
Really?
know what they call me now? Sir.
Sir, there you go.
Like that one. Huh?
Oh yeah.
That's a good one. Hey, we got to tell you about Matt Townsend. Did you know that 13% of Fairfield and Benton residents are without health care? Larry, did you know that?
I did not know that, Rick.
That is more than double the state average. Matt Townsend knows this, and he realizes Maine needs to build new hospitals and recruit quality doctors. Matt will work with his fellow legislators to help bring quality, affordable health care options to the people of Fairfield and Benton. To learn more about what Matt Townsend plans to learn more, I've read this 3 times and I'm screwing it up.
Happens.
To learn more about what Matt Townsend's plan is, go to electmatttownsend.com. So, guys, how long have you been playing organized football?
I have been playing organized football since I could walk, probably.
can remember?
Since I can run. Flag football down at the PAL fields.
Well, Jackson, with your name, that Dangler name, that carries a lot of weight in this town.
It definitely does. That's what pretty much got me into football, that name.
All right.
So
Wyatt?
I started a little bit later. I was probably in 4th or 5th grade when I first started.
Alright.
I was a little bit older, but I took to it pretty quick, I think.
And you both played in the PAL?
Yes. We
So
both
what
played.
teams did you
We
play?
actually played together.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
we
awesome.
we both
Yeah, it's the first one that has played together.
Yeah.
we both played on VFW and Yankee Trophy.
Nice. Did you win any championships?
We almost.
Well,
Alright.
I won one VFW
I
year
did-
after Wyatt
I
left,
was
and
every
then
time.
Oh,
Right after.
man.
Oh, it's on bad luck.
Well, when you win the championship together this year,
That's
that'd be a
right.
big
That will
exactly.
make up for it.
Exactly.
What was your initial reaction when you heard that Coach Hersom was getting done?
As a team, we were pretty upset. I mean, he came in, he pulled us aside, and we had it was a hard talk.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was like losing someone that was very important to our community, to us, and it was hard for all of us. But I think that's how I feel. I don't know. What do you think, Jackson?
Yeah, it was definitely hard. We kind of thought he was going to be with the 28 class, the junior class, until we graduated. At least that's what we all hoped, and it was definitely hard. That winter, I kind of connected with him, lifting in the morning before school, and it was definitely hard. But all respect his decision. We understand.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you, I was, I'm both Larry and I went to Messalonski. When I got married to my wife, who's from Fairfield, she said we can live in Fairfield or Fairfield. It's up to you. So that's when I became a Fairfield resident, and been around a lot of coaches in this town. And there's like a Mount Rushmore, right?
Yeah.
And he's definitely on it. I think we used to make the comments doing the games when Messalonski played you guys that the Lawrence boosters were sending Christmas cards to Messalonski every year, thanking them for letting go of John Hersom so they could hire him, right? So,
Yeah, actually, John Hersom coached my son over at Missalonsky his last year of coaching at Missalonsky, and it was my son's senior year. But got the experience, to know the family and John, and just a tremendous family and a great gentleman.
so what is each of yours fondest football memory thus far? And it doesn't have to be high school. It can be,
Oh,
PAL. I mean, obviously, PAL championship over here. Maybe it's
yeah,
that. I don't
exactly.
know, but
For me, it's probably my freshman year. We went to states, and that Northern Maine's game was unreal for me.
which was that the Coney game?
Yes, it was.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
And it was the energy. I've never felt something like that before. It was so crazy. It was unreal.
Yeah.
I think I'm also gonna go my freshman year. I think we also played Coney. I was at Coney playoff game. Must have been quarterfinals. We wanted to play Falmouth after that, I think, but
Yeah, that I remember we broadcast that game, Larry and I, and you went into that game a significant underdog.
Yeah.
yeah,
Got housed by Coney earlier in the season.
yeah,
And one thing, Coney did not ever want to face you guys in the playoffs because you had Coney's number in the playoffs, that's for sure.
Wing T football in
There you
November.
go.
But yeah, freshman year we went there. We haven't had atmosphere like that. We packed the stands on our side. We got people along the fence. I mean, we must pile up just as many fans as Coney does. Even I think
Yeah,
Coach.
if I remember, it seemed like Lawrence had more people
Yeah.
than Coney did that game. It's just a
Yeah,
tribute to the community and the support that they give to you guys.
our coach actually gave Fuller Field a nickname last year, Kais Field South.
Awesome.
So thought that was pretty
That
funny.
was always a good one.
Now, your freshman year, did you guys get on the field at all for varsity?
So my freshman year, I didn't really, honestly. I mean, I was.
It's very rare.
It was, and I wasn't as good. I mean, I made it, so I was able to be there and help out.
Okay.
I was a bad guy, like I helped the team during practice.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
That's
we
just-
all have roles, right? And
Exactly.
this is your
Yeah.
and someone that's a freshman right now
Mhm.
is going to be looking up at you,
Yeah.
and hey, that's what my goal is, to be like him
Exactly.
in a few years.
Yeah, I didn't. I played maybe a couple snaps, maybe 5 snaps total. I remember getting in. We were beating Skowhegan freshman year, playoffs, first round quite a bit, and I got and played a little bit of safety. But other than that, I was also a role player in practice, bag holder, whatnot. So scout team.
They needed us for.
Yep.
How much of football is mental and how much is physical for you guys?
All right. So for me, I'm all mental. Like I have a routine and I want to always be in that routine or something feels funky, and I like to be in that state of mind where I'm always ready to go. And I think physicality is more like you need to be physical, but I feel like it's more of like a mental task than it is just being uh like physically strong. It's like you can be physically strong but mentally not be able to keep up with the four quarters.
I mean, yeah.
Quarterback's got to be mental.
Yeah.
it's definitely hard. Just even remembering plays. I get flustered quite a bit. Last year I did. Hopefully this year, with
Well,
as
one
much
thing you got to
practice,
do is stay healthy.
Yeah,
Okay?
jeez.
Can you please do that?
I will try my hardest. Trust me.
That was on us a little bit.
No, let's just say Coney had some big boys coming from me. But yeah, I mean, you can be strong in the weight room, and we have a lot of guys that are. Um, and if somebody goes into a game thinking they're gonna lose, it might not matter. Um, we practice. We might be down at the beginning. Coach will say something, and we'll be right back up. We're always pretty pretty hype. I'll say that. I
Try
mean,
our best to be as
whether it's in the locker room or it's on the field, we're always pretty.
Yeah, the physical part of it kind of takes care of itself, right? I mean, you
always.
guys, one of the things that is a staple of Lawrence football is the physicality, right? I mean,
100 pounds.
you're gonna blow some people up.
Yeah.
You're gonna establish
Mm.
that physical dominance early.
Mm.
You like to run the ball down people's throats, so that physical part kind of takes care of itself. The mental part of it too, and we were talking to Brady and Keegan about it. Also the emotions come into that, right? And you really kind of got to keep you want to be fired up and ready to go, but you got to kind of keep those emotions in check to make sure that it's not hurting your the mental part of the game.
Yeah, I would say being humble is our team's biggest thing.
Try to keep
We definitely, people are gonna talk us up. We obviously have a lot of returning players and whatnot, and
haven't proved anything yet.
yeah,
Yeah.
we haven't won anything yet. I mean, that's been
That's
said
been-
by.
Yeah, that kind of plays right into you've been reading my questions
No,
here? Because it's right
no,
into the
no,
next question.
promise.
How do you handle those high expectations? Because, you got, I think, is it 17, 9 returning starters on one side of the ball and 8 on the other.
Right, so-
You got to be, people around the league are going to say, hey, Lawrence is always good anyways, and now they got everybody back.
I mean, we take it with as much as like it's courtesy, We practice just as hard as we're gonna play every day. We go out there and we give it our all. We haven't won anything yet, but we want to win everything we can. We're gonna go as far as we can, and we work hard, and that's our motto. Work hard, work harder than the other one. I mean, our end of speech practice, we say earn it every day.
Yeah, I mean, we're really passionate about what we do, how we practice, and how we play. I think, I always say at practice, get you pumped up. I said, no team's working harder than us.
Never is.
I mean, we just finished up doubles, 2 days there, and Coach Curtis worked us real hard, conditioning every day at the end of practice.
Twice a day.
Twice a day. It's rough, but I think we all think it'll all be worth it when it
Doing
comes
his next
down
better.
to November.
Yeah.
Were you guys practicing in pads right out of the gate?
No, we
Two-
worked our way up 2 days of each, and
Okay.
then this morning was full, and then
Pads.
yesterday was just uppers. But we've been doing as much physicality as we
We've definitely had contact. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys have a pregame ritual? Do you guys have to eat something the same? I think Richards said that he had to go home take a nap before every game.
We always have. I mean, the night before we start off right, we have a big old dinner as a team. Team dinners are big. Thursday nights, where as much food as you can handle, right? Bunch of carbs. Get yourself ready for the day.
Yep.
And then the locker room. I mean, we are very focused, but we like our music loud. We like it bumping in there. We always want. We know what we all like. We all like it. And people who need that little bit of quiet to mentally focus, we got headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we
What
let
do you guys do?
people. I mean, past 2 years I haven't had my license, so I don't go home. I just after school come to the locker room and I stay in there for however long. But it takes a while for me to mentally prepare. I go through my script a couple times, more than a couple times, read through that, see what we got, and I mean, we go through it in practice, but it's different before the game. And then I hype with the guys a little bit. Then I try to calm myself down, think about what I need to do, think about how to get it done. But
As the quarterback, do you get? Is there any audible opportunities, or you have to run the play that comes in?
well, we haven't really. Obviously, me being somewhat new, I mean, not really, but only being able to play 3 games last year was pretty tough for me. For us to put in more stuff around me, and we haven't had any audibles, but obviously there's triple option in our offense, wing T. It's when I see something.
It's
I
your
can-
reads.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
runs. Yeah. Now on the offensive line, Wyatt, do you guys have certain protections you're calling out, or are there?
Oh yeah. We have some, like, of course we're an offensive line. We've got dummy calls. We've got all the stuff that we need to. We call we're very verbal, you know.
Mhm.
You got to get in your opponent's head. Easy way to do that is to be loud, obnoxious sometimes, but always know what you're doing and what you're doing as a group, and that's what we try to strive for.
Yep. So it's not like Alvin Mack in the program, kill them all and let the paramedics sort them out.
Yeah. I don't know.
Jesus, Rick.
What? That's what Alvin Mack said.
I know
Yeah.
he did.
I know you. You stole my mama's purse. Go ahead, Larry.
You talked about music. What is some of your pregame music
Ooh.
that you guys listen to? Is it?
It's I don't know, man. Coach
Well,
might.
We all definitely have different tastes.
We
Yeah.
do. It's an ongoing battle every day.
It's
Is
pretty.
there any
Now-
Barry Manilow in there? That's what I want.
I don't know.
We
It's like, who's Barry Manilow?
we definitely, I would say we don't fight over it, but like, you know,
Is it the captains that pick the music, or
well,
just
the thing is, all the captains are different music taste. Well, Brady and Keegan are pretty much the
But
same,
same.
but
I'm a
Wyatt,
little more mellow.
I like Wyatt's
Yeah.
taste.
I'm a
in
little
music.
more
Why
mellow.
you country man?
No, I like hard rock sometimes. I like
Hard rock's
80s, 90s rap. Like I like that
Oh
old
yeah,
harder
old
stuff.
school rap,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah,
And they don't like it
Little
as
Tone
much.
Loc.
Yeah, anything. I
Nice.
mean,
LL Cool J.
oh, sometimes. I like
LL,
Nas, you know, all those guys.
Yeah,
I agree with Wyatt there.
Yeah.
I like
That's
that.
what
Yeah, that's
what I
old school
like,
rap. My buddy down the other end, he loves rap too.
yeah?
Right,
Give me
L-Dub?
give me some 80s and 90s. We'll be all set.
I like the Eagles too. Like I like that
Oh,
chill
the
stuff.
Eagles,
Not before
yeah, no
games,
doubt.
but
Yeah.
It's good
I-
jams.
What? So, you're a captain. You're on the leadership council. What's the? I mean, obviously we know what the captain's responsibilities are, but the leadership council. What kind of responsibilities do you have on there, Jackson?
Well, we have three seniors, three juniors, and two sophomores on leadership council. We all lead lines in the valley when we're practicing and pregame, and we meet every week, or we'll start to meet every week, and we'll talk with coaches and go over what we think is going good. Coach will say what, if stuff needs to happen, stuff needs to change, we need to be more, whatever, and
what needs to be improved upon.
yes,
all that
and
kind of
then
stuff.
just that's what we do, and we'll talk with each other. We have our own group chat.
We do, yeah.
Just kind of
And if there's any issues like with other players, you're the first line. They come to you guys and say, "Hey, I need to talk to you about something that's going on or whatever."
yeah, basically. I
That's
think
what we've tried to.
the captains are
you know.
definitely
Yeah.
more the front line, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, is this you've been doing this year after year, or is this something new?
This would be a first year.
brand new with Coach
So
Curtis.
this is kind of Coach Curtis's. He's installing this. Okay.
So before the game, all the coaches get a chance to get you guys fired up, if you will.
Yep.
What coach gets you the most fired up when they give their pregame speech?
Ooh. Well,
First you got it.
you can go.
So for me, I'm an O-line guy. Coach Curtis was always fired up and ready to go.
Yeah.
Out of the gate. He'd say it. His quote. You guys are the backbone of our team, right? We depend on you to hit your blocks, make your plays, so our running backs can look great.
Yep.
Our O-line is good because our running backs are good because our O-line is always great, right? And that's pretty much what he says in his speeches. He gets us.
So
Fired
he
up.
gets you fired up. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Jackson?
Well, this usually only happens one game a year. It's homecoming. And Coach Mealy,
Yeah.
he'll come right in.
I love it.
Yeah,
You know
he
it.
knows.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know why we know. Larry, tell him why we know.
Well, his dad used to have pep rallies at Missalonsky, and he would leave the pep rallies, and he'd get in the middle of the gym, and you had your four classes, and he would say, "What do you got?" And everyone would just
you
get
go.
closer pep, and everyone would just rush him.
That's great.
It's just
That's awesome.
Still
would-
makes the hair. I don't
yeah.
have any hair, but if I had some, it would be up on the back of my neck.
Yeah, there's no other feeling. I mean, he's like a second grandfather to me. I'm really close with him, and he's just
Yeah, it's right because he was so. Who's the guy that coached with him? What Dangler is it?
Dan.
Danny.
Yes.
Yeah. He coached with Meals, and he's your grandfather.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he gets us fired up for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Low man wins, baby.
Yeah.
Always.
No better feeling.
Larry.
We talked a little bit about emotional. How do you control that during the game so it doesn't hurt you or your team? And being on a lineman, you see a lot of things that go on and a lot of grabbing. There's not always the cleanest in a pile, and a lot of the talk during the game. How do you control that so it doesn't hurt you or your team?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not always the angriest guy, right? I try to internalize it and I use it. Next play. Come on, give it right back to him. If he's gonna be like that, I can bring it worse every time. That's all I just
I like
just
that.
bring it worse.
Jackson, you can just throw the ball right
Yeah,
at their face if they, mouth off, right?
He
pretty
tells us what
much.
to do.
Yeah, I mean, I like to lead, but
Yeah, of course you do.
definitely, getting into the huddle, I get them
Oh
pumped
yeah,
up pretty
he
well.
brings it.
Uh, so yeah.
That's good.
Well, listen, we really appreciate you guys coming in, giving us a few minutes, and giving the people out there a little sneak peek behind the
Yep.
scenes to Lawrence football. It's the first time we've ever been able to do this for football. We've done it with basketball over the last few years. Very excited about the fact that Coach Curtis has allowed us to get involved at this level with you guys. And I don't want to. I don't want to put any pressure on you, but we as broadcasters are really looking forward to the season and looking forward to big things. And got to tell you, my feeling is this season ends with a gold ball. So go get it.
That's what we wish for.
All right.
That's what we want.
Appreciate you coming in.
Yeah,
We're going to come back with two more players. And then after that,
Legendary
L Dub,
Bill Leary.
Bill Leary's coming in to
Yes.
talk refereeing.
Yes.
Any message you'd like us to give to the refs? Guys.
Ow.
Let's
Well, you're putting
we're
gas
pretty
on the
good
fire
with
with
the
it.
Yeah.
we're pretty good with the refs.
We try
We
our
don't, we
best.
don't have any.
They're all great, right?
All of them.
We don't
Yeah,
have
ever.
any trouble.
Respect them.
Sounds
Respect them.
perfect. All right.
All right.
We'll be back after this. Hey, welcome back to the 2026 preseason coaches show here on Epic View Sports Network. And it's brought to you by Matt Townsend for state representative. Matt's not a politician, but a hardworking business owner that wants to give back to his community. Affordability, healthcare, and economic development are just a few of the priorities that Matt Townsend will work tirelessly to improve for the people of Fairfield and Benton. We need more Matt Townsends in our corner and in Augusta. To learn more about Matt's priorities, go to electmatttownsend.com. We are joined by the final two players here. Jaden Hebert, who's sitting next to L Dub. He's a running back for the Lawrence Bulldogs. And Keon Tay Stevens, who is a linebacker who I heard has been lighting it up in practice. And both these gentlemen are juniors. They're both on the Leadership Council. And guys, we appreciate you coming in, giving us a few minutes. So, first question, how long have each of you been playing organized football?
Oh man, I've been playing for like as long as I could, like all the way down into the minors since I was like 5 or 6, I
Okay.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, same over here. I mean, I started with flag football, and then as soon as I could play tackle, I've been playing since.
So, what PAL teams were you on?
I actually went to Skowhegan, so I did the Skowhegan Rec
Okay.
program all the
All
way
right.
up through, and then went to Skowhegan Middle School, and then I transferred here freshman year, and I've been here since. So.
Well, the coach was excited when
Yeah,
he
I
found
bet.
out you were transferring. Huh?
Yeah, I started on VFW and then for majors I went to Yankee Trophy.
Did you win any championships in PAL?
For VFW, yeah, final
Nice.
year, yeah.
We just started, Larry and I started broadcasting the championships a couple of years
Yes,
ago.
it's
Been kind of
great.
neat to do that. So,
What was your reaction, both of you, on when you heard that Coach Hersom was leaving?
I was a little sad because my freshman, sophomore year, he was a big help with me, and he liked me, and I liked him. And he helped me quite a bit through those 2 years. So I mean, I was a little sad about it, but we're gonna have a good team this year. We got Curtis at the head coach, so I feel like we're gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, I was sad at first. I mean, he's been there all through all the years. I've saw him through PAL and everything, like. But when I heard Coach Curtis was becoming the head coach, he's a good coach. He's got a lot of knowledge and Yeah.
One thing, a lot of times when coaches leave a program, it's because the talent isn't there. Well, Coach Hersom
Yeah.
has left the cupboard full, so to speak. You got a lot of players coming back, and I think that him going up to help his son coach just shows what kind of a person he is and what kind of a family man he is too.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, no question. Obviously, seeing him leaving was tough for the program, but I always felt like he was a quality individual. Anyways, I've known him and his family for a long time. Larry actually, his son played for Coach Hersom at Messalonsky his last year at Messalonsky, so Larry knows him real well. But it doesn't surprise me that he's doing something like this because he sees his son has got his first head coaching job and he wants to help him grow that program. And I think, Bangor is definitely going to be a lot
Better,
better for
yeah.
Coach
Yeah,
Hersom up
for
there.
Yeah,
But
sure.
definitely.
Coach Curtis, um, I know initially talking to some other players that had played throughout the years that have been graduated for a while, and they were looking for, we should try to do something different. But I really think it was smart to keep some continuity with Coach Curtis, who coached 17 years under Coach Hersom, and I think he's just going to continue which is it's tough to take over for a legend, right? But I think Coach Curtis is just going to continue building this program and going to continue to have a lot of success.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
So, what's your fondest football memory thus far? And it doesn't have to be high school; it can be, at the lower levels. But so far in your careers, what do you remember when you're thinking about football? You say, "Oh man, I remember that day. That was awesome."
Yeah, I remember it down in the PAL days, like winning that championship for VFW. It's just, yeah, that's always got to be my favorite memory.
Um, my favorite memory is probably just like having fun with the boys, going over to a friend's house with all of them and just spending time with them.
This team is close. You got
Yeah,
a lot of
Yes,
guys there's a lot of team chemistry here. You'd say.
yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
Now, both of you last year, obviously, yourself running the ball, you didn't have much of a role early in the season. As the season went on, you got the ball more and more.
Yeah.
Just, how did you work that way up? Obviously, sometimes injuries or that's part of the game, but finding your opportunity and taking that step.
Yeah, I mean it's important in practice to really like get in there and get reps and show that you can be in that position. And then when they give you a chance in game, you just gotta take it. And against Bangor, I got in and I had a good run, and then I had some good blocks. And then from there, I mean, it was unfortunate that Dawson had a concussion, but um, from there I started and then just kept getting better.
Yeah, it's interesting because, Dawson going out helped you get more playing time and you,
yeah,
because, you came in and took his linebacker spot. And I don't know, I remember that game. I remember, um, you impressed me right out of the gate, making plays and kind of flying around the field. I'm like, who is this guy? I messed your name up 3 or 4 times because I was like, wait a minute, how's this name pronounced? But, I was talking to Coach. Was it Coach Curtis that mentioned it, or was it Coach Dodge that talked about his dominance today in practice,
Dodge,
or
Coach Dodge.
yesterday's practice,
Yeah.
whatever day you guys had offense against the defense? Said you had like 8 tackles, so we're looking for big things from you this year. The one thing about Lawrence is that they're known for certain things, right? Physicality, but linebacker. That's one of those positions that Lawrence is known for, right?
yeah.
Do you feel like I got uh, some big shoe, not big shoes, but you really got to be at the highest level all the time because that's the expectation of Lawrence
Oh
football.
yeah, yeah. Everybody on the team's physical. We're all fighting for a spot, and like, I definitely gotta, yeah, step it up and
Yep.
from last year, and I got more experience, so like, hopefully, I'll do better, and like,
Oh, that's
yeah.
good. Looking forward to that.
Um, how do you handle the high expectations for this year's team? There's a lot of talk about this team's one of the favorites to be at the top of the standings. How do you how do you handle that?
We just gotta kind of deal with it in practice. We just gotta like work hard, have high energy, and then in games when that time comes, we just gotta show up and then take it on.
Yeah, we've had a lot of participation. Everybody's all into it. We're all invested. We got a lot of potential, I think. We're gonna go far, hopefully.
So you're both on the leadership council. This is something that's new this year. Um, what kind of responsibilities do you have as being on that leadership council?
We kind of just like help out the coaches, like keep kids in order, like stretch lines, even just like kind of like a mini captain, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean what Keon said, we kind of help the team like under the captains.
Yeah.
It's kind of like sort of like captain responsibilities, but not as to an
Yeah.
extent as the actual captains. Just helping the team out, being those line leaders, helping with drills and stuff.
Do you feel like as there's responsibility there to pick guys up when when they make a bad play or when they do make a mistake or whatever, and you happen to be right there as a leader, as being on that leadership council, you think that some of the players are looking to you guys to kind of pick everybody up?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's a part of our role as well.
Yeah.
If they make a mistake, help them out. If they have a good play, congratulate them, stuff like that for the season. Right.
Pre-game music. We've talked to other players. They around the board what they listen to. What do you guys listen to pre-game music?
I don't a lot of Eminem. I like Eminem. It yeah, locks me in on the bus ride or something.
Um, I kind of just listen to like whatever is in that moment for me. I mean, I listen to stuff in the locker room and then just kind of put my headphones on and it shuffles through my playlist. Kind of just so like a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you mean like Barry Manilow,
Nah,
Bee Gees,
stuff
stuff like
like
that, or
maybe like Lil Tecca or like those rap guys like
little who?
Lil Tecca.
Oh, okay, no.
Never heard of
Larry,
Lil Tecca?
you got
I
him on
I
your
I
playlist, right?
yes, yes. I'll bring him up.
I like the old school rap. Larry, he's not a rap
I'm,
guy at
I'm
all,
more of a
but
rock guy,
yeah, he's more
Or
of a
like
80, 90s Metallica.
50 Cent.
oh,
Yeah,
50 Cent.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I like 50 Cent. You like him,
he's good.
Larry? How about
Oh,
25 Cent? You like him?
Yeah, like half a buck.
So, what before the game, obviously all the coaches, have little pregame speeches. Which coach gets you guys the most fired up before the game?
I gotta say, last year it was Hersom, but like I think Curtis is gonna definitely,
Take over
yeah,
that role?
yeah,
Okay.
he's gotten us hyped up all this week, like for practices and stuff, kept our energy high.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, definitely. Last year was definitely Hersom, but this year, like Keon said, it's gonna be Curtis. He's got a loud voice in the locker room, and
yeah.
he'll get us hyped up.
It's funny you say that about Coach Hersom. Would you have thought that, Larry? He seems like the guy that would be
He's a
kind of calm.
fiery
Is he?
individual. Yeah, I remember, my son saying some stuff, back when he played for him and just would raise the roof and
Yeah.
just get him
Nice.
going. So, football can be an emotional game. How do you utilize your emotion without hurting your team? Hurting your team or yourself during the game because there's a lot of emotion during the game and some things don't always go your way or someone in the huddle or the pile up throwing an extra punch or pinch or how do you handle that?
I try to always like move on to the next play and like forget about it. Don't let that like affect what I'm gonna do next, and then like I try not to put my teammates down or like any of that. Keep them, yeah, hyped and stuff.
Yeah, really move on to the next play. Really, don't really um just sit on that last play. Just move on and then be better for that next play.
Yeah. One of the things that being old, I when I watched football and played football in the old days, guys would celebrate with their teammates or they'd, just go back to the huddle. Obviously Coach Hersom taught that because you never saw guys, um, you know, looking at the crowd or, look at me or, celebrating over guys or whatever. So, I've always appreciated that with Lawrence football. But you guys are watching games and you see these guys do this, and it's hard to not, say, make a big play and want to just jump up or point at the guy or whatever. But I appreciate the fact that Lawrence football has always been like I remember the one play that always sticks out in my mind. Was years ago, and Kenny Pielot was playing linebacker. It was the '06 team that won the states, and they were playing Lewiston. You remember that game,
Yeah.
Larry? And they had a kid, Lewiston, that was a stud running back. And he was averaging like 200 yards a game. And he came into that game, he got 30 yards in the game. And there was one play where he got down the sideline and Pielot just blew him up. And and Kenny, knocked him out of bounds, turned around, and he was halfway back to the huddle. And the guy jumped up and he's looking around like,
What hit
what
me?"
just hit me, and he was kind of expecting Pielot to be kind of dancing in his face or whatever, and he was just right back to the huddle next play. So I do appreciate that, and I know you guys will be doing that same stuff this year. So well, we appreciate you coming in, and I know you have to earn it, like Coach said, but I know Larry and I have talked a lot, and we're really expecting big things from this team, and we know you two guys are going to be a big part of that. So we wish you the best, and hopefully at the end of the season you're holding a gold ball.
Yeah, that's
thank
the
you.
goal. Thank you.
All right, great talking to you guys. We're going to come back. You got anything you guys want to say to the referee? By the way, we're coming back with legendary referee
Bill Leary.
Bill Leary. Anything you want to slip him some
I
money
don't think
there
I
on the
got
way
anything
out?
to
Make
say.
sure you get a holding call or something there when you.
Trying to minimize those.
We'll
Good
be right
answer.
back with Bill Leary after this. Hey, welcome back to the 2026 preseason football show. Rick Dougal, Larry Workman, and we're joined by legendary. That's what Larry called you.
Yes.
Legendary referee Bill Leary. Bill, appreciate you coming in. Before we get started, I got to tell you about Matt Townsend, by the way. He learned the meaning of hard work at an early age, waking up at 4 a.m. to help his dad milk cows. Today, Matt runs his own business and serves on the Fairfield Town Council as vice chair after holding down the chairman's seat for 2 years. When Matt talks affordability, it's not just talking points. He realizes the cost of living is not keeping up with the stagnant wages and rising property taxes. Matt will work hard with his fellow legislators to get to the root causes of high prices and determine what can be done to lower them. For more information, go to electmatttownsend.com. So we're going to close out the show today with a little referee talk, L-Dub. This is Larry's idea. He's like, hey, why don't we get Bill Leary on and we'll talk about referees. First thing I want to ask you is, how hard is the training to be in the back, the guy that waves all the time, like our good friend Phil Alley? He did a lot of waving in a couple of games that we did last year. And is that something that you have a lot of different training sessions to learn how to wave, or?
Well, with Phil, he had that down pat.
Okay,
for
that's
sure.
why you
So,
kept putting him in the back.
yeah, exactly. So, hey, we need officials, and we will take guys like me and
Oh,
Phil,
okay.
and us older guys that don't move as well. But we need some young guys and training. We'll do whatever we have to and do it on the fly and get these guys up to speed. So,
How long have you been a football official?
football, I'm roughly 18 years.
Wow.
2003, 2004.
Now,
So,
did you do
no,
baseball
7,
before?
sorry.
Baseball, softball, but do you
I-
do softball too, or just baseball?
No, I couldn't do that with Larry because
No.
he would he'd make me look bad.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I,
He's,
look, I look bad enough as
he's
it
up
is,
there.
so
He's one of the top softball officials out there.
he's the man.
Because
for
Phil
sure.
tried to outdo him by dying on the field, but
Yeah. Let's not try that again, Phil. Okay. What are you looking for? What board are you associated with, and how could people get a hold of you guys to maybe see what you have to offer?
Yep. I'm part of the Waterville Mayfo. We cover 7 schools in this area. We cover Lawrence, Waterville, Winslow, Messalonskee, MCI, Madison, and Skowhegan.
okay.
I think that gets me to 7. So
Mhm.
we have just started our meetings here in the last couple of weeks. We meet every Tuesday at the Hutamaki Union Hall, which is right beside Big G's. We do that every week at 6:30. Um, you reach out to any official that you may know, and we'll get you set up and come to a meeting. And we'll tell you all the things that you need to do. A lot of the training we do on the fly.
Okay.
That where this year one of our emphasis is actually to do more training with um, not only new officials but with the older officials as well. We do have an older board, not just for us, but it's across the
Yes.
entire state and across the nation. I mean, if you get on Facebook and those social media type things, you'll see very quickly that there's a shortage of officials. And
Why is that, Bill? I mean, years ago, you never heard about, because I mean, it wasn't really connected like I am to doing games now, but I hear that all the time. Why do you think it is that it's harder to get officials these days?
yeah, there are a number of reasons for that. A lot of people, it's a difficult as far as being being the person that's out there being hollered at, and a lot of times you're being hollered at and stuff like that is by people that doesn't necessarily understand the rules.
Okay.
And if they do understand the rules, in a lot of cases they do, they don't necessarily understand high school rules. They know collegiate rules, they know professional rules, the stuff that they watch on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. So they it is very different in some cases. A lot more emphasis toward safety, and those are the types of calls that we make that we get hollered and screamed at, and people don't necessarily understand, and people just don't want that kind of, for lack of a better word, abuse.
Mhm.
So that would be one. Secondly, there's a fair amount of time that you put into it, especially to improve your craft, and in doing so, um, people don't think they're getting paid enough. In the state of Maine now, across all sports, because I do baseball as well, what we're getting paid is much better than it
Yeah,
was at one point
Yeah.
in time.
the last few years in all the sports has gone up quite a bit, and they're compensating a lot better.
Correct. Yeah.
Now, in football, there's a lot of people on the field. Obviously, there's how many officials, including the guy in the booth keeping the score?
Yep. So on the field for a varsity game, you'll see most everywhere statewide is you have 5 officials on the field, and then you have somebody up on the scoreboard taking care of the time and that stuff as well. So typically 5 for a varsity game, 5 plus the one. When we talk sub varsity, middle school, JV, freshman, you typically have 3 guys out on the field
Okay.
for that. And that's one of the other issues, right? We all have in society today, everybody wants instant gratification,
Mhm.
and they think, oh, geez, I played high school football, and trying to recruit the younger guys. They think they're going to come right in and step on the field because they think they know the game, and they're going to be out on a varsity game their first Friday night. And it takes time to improve that craft. So
Mm.
are people willing to do that? And that's another one that's more difficult.
What is the time frame? So say you became an official this year. What is typical that be how long before you're doing varsity games? A couple years or?
What I'd like to say, and we'll go back to 20 years ago roughly when I started. Your first year you might get up on doing the clock. Definitely by your second year you were doing that. Towards your second, third year, at that point in time, you got onto a field for a couple games, and then year 3 and 4, that's a time frame where you're going to get more and more games.
Mhm.
The reality is that's not true today. The truth today is you could see a game in 5 to 6 weeks, halfway through your season, roughly.
Wow.
We have a couple weeks where it's more challenging for us. We have enough games where we got to get people up to speed and get them out on the field because we're so short statewide. Like myself, when I have done other games outside of our board, we're covering statewide. I mean, there are times where we got guys going down and doing a Portland, South Portland football game.
Okay.
Where that never happened before. we cover the 7 schools, but if they have a shortage, we go help them, and same thing with us. They come help us. So realistically, you can get on the field the first year and halfway through the year. Now, if we get an influx of 20 guys, then obviously the guys that are up to speed quicker will get out there quicker. But,
Okay.
so yeah, you're seeing like Phil as an example. Um, Phil ended up out there on I think week 2. Now
Wow.
we ended up having a shortage on one night, but Phil was able to step in. But he also had knowledge of officiating anyway, because he'd done softball for a number of years. So, there's a lot more to the game and officiating, as it is with any sport. When you know how to deal with coaches and the sidelines and those people, so
Yeah.
that certainly helps.
Yeah, I think you're prepared better for, what it takes on the field if you have coached or had umped at another sport. I think that has helped. Why did you get into the officiating football?
Yeah. So I've been a part of football and multiple sports since I was a young man. So um, coached for just about the same amount of time, 17, 18 years at the youth level. Coached different sports, even right up to the high school level. And my son went off. I played at Lawrence, and he went to Bentley. Played 4 years of football there. He got out and said, I want to continue being a part of the game. So he started officiating, and I said, time for me to change and go officiate. So I was able to officiate with him for about 10 years actually.
So he's not officiating anymore?
No, again, it's another reason why people kind of get out of it is, family life comes into play. He
Yeah.
had a couple kids, and decided that he didn't have the time on to be able to get there and do as many games as he could. So so
So you've got 5 officials on the field in the varsity game and the one guy up in the booth. Does the pay, like the head guy get the head referee, or what do they call the
what we refer to him affectionately as a white hat.
the white hat?
Yeah.
Okay. He gets the most, and then everybody else gets, or does everybody get
Nope.
paid the same?
All 5 guys on the field, or 3 guys in a sub-varsity game, they all get the same fee.
Okay.
So there's nothing different there. Clock keeper, he gets, I believe it's 80% of what the on-field officials get.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and then we get travel as well. So that helps cover costs. When we In order to help the schools out, part of the MPA contract is we try to uh, ride share with each other. So instead of charging 6 different travel fees, we'll try to get that down to 2, maybe three guys,
Okay.
and help the schools out that way, so they're not paying that additional travel,
Yeah.
especially when we're going down to
A
Portland or
longer
someplace
trip.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah.
works out quite well. I mean, like I said, we're compensating pretty close to what it is around the country now. So I mean, you might get down to Alabama and Florida and places like that. They're making a little bit more money, but they also don't get travel now. More schools in those areas, and they don't have to travel as far anyway, so that makes a difference. So
Now, obviously, you've done playoff games. Have you done state games?
yep.
Lobster Bowl.
Yep. We get a lobster bowl every 4 years. It's like anything. That's Lobster bowl is more seniority based. So yeah, I've done a lobster bowl. Most everybody on the board now has had a lobster bowl, except for the guys that come out in the last couple of years. Most guys every 4 to 5 years. The goal would be that everybody gets a state game every 4 to 5 years. So there's some things that are in the works to try to improve that process, but
Spread it out more instead
yep,
of the
yep.
same officials. Obviously, I umpire softball, and we've opened that up, and it's just seems to work. And I think people like that a lot more than just being the same handful of officials
Yep.
every year.
I absolutely agree with you, Larry. you work hard for 12 weeks. You put your time in every day. Um, at that point in time, you like to be a part of that reward as well, right? And have those opportunities. So we're trying to boards are trying to figure out how to do stuff like that and do it better and make it so that everybody does have those rewards.
I do have a question. Okay.
Well, that's
Can
good
you?
because this is an interview situation.
Hey, thank you.
Appreciate you having a
Hey,
question.
I wanted before you asked him your next question, the best player that you've seen throughout your career, or maybe a couple.
Wow.
I want to make
No,
it.
no tough
Yeah.
questions here, right?
Hey, you know, I think that's a loaded question because I know, Larry, deep down you want me to say that was you.
Oh wow.
He loves the goat conversation, by the way. Bill, so.
I know he does, and at the end of the day, he might say I'm legendary, but he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
So we won't talk about what that may or may not be, but I don't have the gift of gab like Larry does. So
Oh, you don't? Okay.
no,
Yeah,
no.
he's quite a wordsmith.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully you can understand everything I'm saying. I talk under my breath most of the time, so but I do that out on the field too. But geez, I mean it's a
Well,
lot of
let's break it down. Let's say you coached for a while,
yeah.
and then you officiated. So when you were coaching, who was the best player? Do you or and you can throw a couple names out there if you want, but
Uh, there was a kid over in Mount View, Stephen Davis. He had a lot of tools that was really good. I went to Lawrence, so there's obviously a lot of quality players that have come through here. Kirk Matthews would be one of those guys that come
Yeah.
to mind first and foremost. I mean, ever since he was a little pup all the way up through right through Maine Maritime, and he was as good as they come. So
yeah. Now, as you started out, you played football, right, for Lawrence?
yeah,
You
yeah.
played
If you
for
want, if you want,
Cooper.
if you want to call it that,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right. So
I was a part of it.
you were part of the team.
Yeah.
So you've been under that tutelage. Then you coached for a while, and then you're officiating. How, in your opinion, has the game changed over the years? And do you think it's a good change, or do you think it's uh, the same, or
Oh, it's definitely not the same.
Yeah.
Especially at the high school, at every level. The game is, I don't want to say has gotten softer,
Mm-hmm.
but back in the day, I just had a conversation with a coach here recently about you know what we call blindside block, right? It's what would have been a legal hit even 10 years ago is no longer it. It's still a legal hit, but that kid doesn't have his head on a swivel. He doesn't see you coming. Now you got a penalty there. A lot of people don't necessarily understand that in that case that it is a penalty. So
Yeah,
most
that's
year
one of the ones you're getting lit up for, right? On the from the fans,
yeah, 100%. And there's ways to make that block. If you can still make that same block, but you got to lead with your hands versus you drop your shoulder. Now you have you're trying to light that guy up and knock him into the third row of the bleachers.
Right.
And, back when we played, that's how we were taught, right?
Yeah.
You hit them harder. Um, so the game has changed that way, and you see that across. I just gave one example, but there's millions of examples like that. So the game has become,
Spread offense and kind of,
it's more of a finesse game
Yes.
than it was back.
You know what drives me crazy, and I mention it probably every time I see it in a broadcast, is the quarterback running to the sideline to get the play. And think about how much running is done throughout the game, and especially if it's a running quarterback, right?
Yeah.
And that's got to affect the kid later in the game, right? And you've got a lot of these offenses have multiple players coming in and out. Why aren't they sending the play in with somebody? Are they afraid that the kid's not going to say the play right or what? But it drives me crazy as a broadcaster.
It's the same. It's the same thing here. I don't necessarily understand it. I don't necessarily get it. And it's the game, obviously, like we talked about, has changed a lot. And you see more and more teams like an MCI that's running the spread. They've got cards on the sideline, and you see a difference throughout the game because they're not running to the sidelines like that. So,
Yeah.
um, I mean, hopefully these kids are in shape and can
Right.
do it, and they do it and do it well in a lot of cases. But I certainly don't understand it.
Yeah.
Do you see in football, I know baseball and softball, electronic devices, do you see any kind of, you know, high school football going to that in the near future?
Yeah, you're already seeing some of that, and yeah, recent rule changes in the last few years have built in some of that. So you go down to a Southern Maine and look at a South Portland, probably a Bonnie Eagles, those types of schools. They've got 6 to 8 coaches. They've got film on each end zone and on both sides. Or here in Central Maine, a lot of what you get is, you get the one booth on one side. That's where they're getting their film from. They're getting it from every angle, and they've got the tablets on the side, and they can get into that and see it. And you see a difference in the games in some cases because of that. So, but yeah, there's more and more of that stuff happening.
Um, I know in other sports they have points of emphasis sometimes, especially in basketball. We hear about it every year. This is a point of emphasis. Do you guys have that as well? That you have certain things that the people about now you have specific boards, but is there a like the governing body is the MPA, I'm assuming, or is there somebody that says these are the points of emphasis for football
Yep.
rules this year?
Yeah, that so yeah, from the state of Maine, obviously it's the MPA, but there's somebody from the MPA, a part of the football coaches associations, that's at the national level.
Okay.
At the national level, in our case, it's Ralph Dameron, who's been around for forever, does this fantastic job. If you ever need a rule question, he's the guy that he knows the book inside and out. So
Yep.
they meet at least once, twice a year. They talk about things that how the game is being changed, and their issues, their concerns. Obviously a lot of it, like I said, is related towards safety, and they decide on what the new rule changes are, points of emphasis, and that actually gets put into the rule book. And we're actually the Waterville board's meeting with those 7 schools this week is for coaches, giving them an update on the rule changes, talking about those points of emphasis. So
What is it this year? Can you share any with us, or?
now you're really putting me on the spot.
Oh,
Like
okay.
like I said, we've only had one meeting, and I just got
Oh,
back from
okay.
vacation, so I haven't opened that book up
All
yet
right.
to see exactly
Well,
what it is.
maybe you can let Larry know, and then we'll talk about it in our first broadcast. How's that,
Yeah,
Larry?
absolutely.
Or, if you do a Lawrence game, maybe we'll mic you up on the
Oh,
field. How
there we
about
go.
that?
No, maybe not. No, we don't want people to hear what you're saying out there.
I just, I got to make sure that button is turned
Yeah.
off correctly. Like I said, there's things I say under my breath out on the field that,
Have you noticed something I've noticed over the last few years? Seems to be in certain teams a lot of cheap shots out there. That and it's hard for 5 guys on the field to see everything, but man, there's sometimes where I just like, how did why is that kid doing that? And I think I think it's the coaches are the ones that have to put an end to that, right? But does it seem to be a little bit more? Maybe I'm
Maybe you're
no,
just getting old.
maybe I'm just getting an old crotchety man. My father was an old crotchety man, and my wife keeps telling me I get more like him every day. So maybe that's it. I don't know.
Sportsmanship is, paramount, and safety is paramount. So again, yeah, has that changed? I think everybody thinks they have a say in everything, and they think they know more than you. So there's a lot of stuff that's being said on the field. There's a lot of things. Kids are smart. They have access to game film. They see the same things that officials are seeing out on the field. So what ends up happening is they know that your keys are this. So, oh wait, there's a blind spot. The fewer guys you have out there, the more blind spots you have. They know when they can do those extra things.
Yeah.
And, you hope that's not happening. But we certainly trying again, it's one of those points of emphasis, right? We're gonna crack down on that stuff as much as possible, but it's not always easy. And that's
What is the
so
rule
when you
on?
just asked a second ago about the changes for this year, there's one of the changes that's coming is it's a mechanics change for us. The average official would not see it, but it's on kickoffs and how we're going to operate and handle kickoffs. Um, because there's only 5 guys out there. They're you're on a kickoff. You're looking at the entire field, right? Because anything can happen out there. There's going to be blind spots there that we can't see, and there's going to be stuff that we can't control or manage, and there's also opportunities for um, somebody to say, we need to do this way, this that way.
Yeah.
So that is one of the changes that's coming. But again, hopefully that's not something that the average person, coaches, or fans will see.
What is the rule on unsportsmanlike? Is it one and you're out, or is it two unsportsmanlike penalties in a game and you're kicked out of the game?
Two.
Two. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there's different personal fouls. We had that conversation last year because one's it's a personal foul, and then there's unsportsmanlike.
Correct.
You get two unsportsmanlike and you're out.
Correct.
That's it. Personal fouls are that's just like a face mask
Correct.
or
Like a face mask, you get a 5 yard or the 15 yarder, which is you pull your head. So you'll actually see two different mechanics from the official that's doing that, right? If you just see, the official do this at that point in time, it's just a 5 yard penalty versus if he goes here, now we got a personal foul, face mask.
Okay.
Now that goes from
15,
it's a 15 yard penalty.
horse collar, personal.
Correct.
Okay. So about anything unsportsmanlike, they get two there.
Correct.
Okay.
Second one. Yep.
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 And does that mean they're out for the following game too? What's the
by MPA rule?
By MPA.
You're out the following game.
Okay.
Correct.
Wow. Well, we appreciate your time, Bill, coming in, talking a little officiating, and again, if you want to tell everybody if you want to be an official, what's the best way to find out?
So there is on the MPA website, I believe, if I remember correctly, there is actually a spot there. You can go in and put in your contact information. Probably your email address, phone number, and then somebody will get back to you that way. If you're interested in working on the Waterville board covering those particular schools, like I said, every Tuesday night we do have a meeting over at the Union Hall beside Big G's. It's at 6:30. And just show up or get a hold of any officials that you see. Just let them know. So
awesome.
I'd give you my personal contact information, but I don't need it.
You don't want the
your
phone
thousands
blowing
of
up.
calls.
Yeah,
your
all the
fans.
ladies that are going to be watching this,
that's,
you're going to be getting those phone calls.
Yeah, that
you don't want
be
that.
good. So, but
well, we appreciate you coming in, and we want to thank everybody for watching today. Our first ever
kickoff.
Yeah.
Yes.
First ever kickoff.
Yeah.
Okay.
2020.
It's also a preseason show, but kickoff. We'll call it what do you want to call it? Just let you take over.
I'm all set.
You're all set.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate everybody
Remember,
watching today, and we wish the best of luck. Obviously, Lawrence football this year. We when we broadcast the games, we try to call it down the middle, and we uplift everybody that's playing the game. However, we do all the Lawrence home games, and we do like to see them win. So we're not really homers, but we want them to win. But we try to play it down the middle. The whole thing, the whole shooting match. But that's going to do it for Epic View Sports Network 2026 preseason coaches show. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for having me.